Namaste to all of you. Shubhadinam, Subhodayam. Wish you happy Dasara greetings. And may Mother Durga, Mother Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mother Sharada Devi bless all of you. Bless all of us in our life journey, in our work, in our Seva, and in gaining more spiritual illumination. Today is another interesting webinar day as part of our series of Rsurgent India. The Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, as many of you are aware, has been doing these programs week after week so that our youth, professionals, parents will not become weak in the sense of health, strength, peace, joy. We need to become more and more strong. We need to become more and more vibrant, pure, purposeful for one's own growth and for the welfare of the country. This is our major attitude, contribution to the country. This webinar being organized today is on Nari Shakti, the power of the motherhood, power of women, power within the women, not just the external funfair, but the inner Shakti, the divinity, that Adya Shakti, which is dormant, which is hidden with so many other things, that has to be wiped out. We have to help the women, help the children, help the girls to awake from their sleep and to contribute for the welfare of the society. So to discuss about it, how the Nari Shakti can build a resurgent India, we have three wonderful people today. One from Bangalore, Miss Swati who is deeply connected with education and rural development and slum children's education. Mrs. Vidya Raghu, who is an architect and a devotee of the Mutt Mission and who is doing a lot of work in the slums of Mumbai. And we have the one and the only young chartered accountant who is connected with us last 2 years, Miss Aishwarya from Pune. Apart from that, we have our volunteer force of the Ramakrishna Mutt, and also to guide us and to guide all of you, the listeners, participants, Professor Sumita Roy, who is a professor retired from the Osman University and is connected with the Sharada Mutt and Mission and the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission from her very childhood. So it's a wonderful day. We welcome all of you, and we'll start with our institute prayer and a chanting in praise of the Divine Mother Durga. I wish all of you participate well, have a blessed and joyful and a highly spiritual Sunday morning. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharmaswarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha yathagner dahika shakti Ramakrishne stitahiya sarva vidya swarupam tam Sharadam pranamamyaham Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhaswarupaya Swami Netapaharine Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Let us have the universal selfless prayer before the worship of the Mother Durga. Sarve bhavantu sukinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha vag bhavet, sarvastaratu durgani, sarvo bhadrani pashyatu, sarvasad buddhimapnotu, sarvasarvatra nandatu, harihi om. With me is, to my right, is Anirudh Sharma. He is our volunteer student from Hyderabad who has been connected to us, to the Institute and Ramakrishna Mutt from his school days. He is a upcoming young tabla professional or percussionist from Hyderabad. He is a singer. He is connected with the Indian Raga of the United States, connected with so many other musical forums. So I'll be chanting the Durga Suktam, which is from the Rig Veda, and he will play the tabla in tune with the mantras, with the chanting of the Durga Suktam. Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jatavedase sunavamaso mamarati yato nidahati vedaha. Sanaf parshadati durgani vishwanave vasindum duritatyagnihi. Sanaf parshadati durgani vishwakshamadhyevo ati duritatyagnihi. Tamagnivarnam tapasajvalanti vairochanim karma phaleshu jushta. Durgam devigam sharanamaham prapatye sutarasi tarase namaha. Agne tvam parayanavyo asman swasti bhirati durga nivishwa. Puscha prithvi bahulana urvi bhavado kayatanaya yashayoho. Vishwanino durgaha jataveda sindhum nanava duritati parshi. Agne atrivan manasagranano smakam bodhya vitatanuna. Pratanajitagam sahamanamugramagnigum uvema parama sadhastad. Sanaf parshadati durgani vishwa shamaddevo ati duritatyagnihi. Pratnoshikamiryo advareshu sanacha hota navyascha satsi. Svanchagni tanuvam piprayasva smabhyancha saubhagamaya jasva. Gobhirjushtamayujo nishiktam tavendra vishno ranusancharema. Nakasya prishtamabhisamvasano vaishnavim lokaiha madayanta. Om Katyayanaya vidmahe Kanyakumari dhimahi tanno durge prachodayat. Om Katyayanaya vidmahe Kanyakumari dhimahi tanno durge prachodayat. Om Katyayanaya vidmahe Kanyakumari dhimahi tanno durge prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Interesting. This is a very powerful mantra, a traditional mantra on the Divine Mother Durga. Katyayanaya vidmahe kanya kumari dhimahi tanno durgif prachodayat. May the Divine Mother Durga be awakened within us. After celebrating the Navaratri, it is not just a mere puja or a garbha dance and a kind of festival atmosphere. That is okay. But what is most important is the Divine Mother entering into our heart. The motherliness in the man, the motherliness in the woman, the Shakti in man, the Shakti in the woman. That is bringing about a equanimity, a balance in the society. So that is where a new India has to awake. A resurgent India has to awake from her sleep. We have to revive that ancient spirit. So the topic today is reviving Nari Shakti for a resurgent India. And that Nari Shakti placed in different areas of work, whether it's in medicine, whether it's in law, whether it's in chartered accountancy, whether it's in engineering, whether it's in Seva, whether it's in meditation, whether it's in yoga, that will bring a tremendous change in the entire system and the country. So we have to work together, the parents, the youth, the institutions, and bring about a revolution. Not by breaking, not by hating, not by violence, but a spiritual growth, an inner growth, a kind of metamorphosis which Swami Vivekananda wanted after observing the situation in the country at that time. His letters written from America to India, his own experiences at the feet of his mother Bhuvaneshwari Devi, at the feet of Mother Sharada Devi, at the feet of Mother India, and seeing the Western advancement and the life of the Western people. He writes, the emblem of the Divine Mother Durga has become a beast of burden only to bear children, life itself a curse in India. That was the situation at that time. What has happened to the Sita, Savitri, Damayanti ideal of power, of purity, of purpose, of character? So the modern youth, the educated youth, the rural youth have to come together. The parents have to come together. The institutions have to support. It's not just the Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence doing this alone. Whether it's the engineering college, whether it's the medical college, whether it is the degree college, apart from their academics, apart from their life and intensity, the exams and things like that. Let us give this morale, let us give this value back to our youth, to our women, to our young people, and see the difference. Let us be optimistic. Let us be faithful. Let us be true to our ideals. And now we request our volunteer force, young volunteers, supported by Parvita, who is a 10th standard student, who has been coming to the mutt since her childhood, and her young team to recite Swami Vivekananda's teachings. Over to Parvita.
Our pranams to the Holy Trio. Namaste Swamiji. Namaste to the esteemed speakers of the day. Swami Vivekananda raised his powerful voice decades ago on behalf of our women and our masses. To them, he will ever remain a powerful guardian of their rights and interests.
Today, we the students of Bal Vikas are here to present few quotations of Swami Vivekananda. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when this sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity.
Never think there is anything impossible for the soul. It is the greatest heresy to think so. If there is a sin, this is the only sin, to say that you are weak or others are weak.
Whatever you think, that you will be. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. If you think yourself weak, weak you will be.
Swami Vivekananda did not like the idea of continued dependence of women on men for solving their problems. He strongly believed that women can handle the challenges of life bravely and wisely. He said,
women must be put in a position of solving their problems in their own way. No one can or ought to do this for them, and our Indian women are as capable of doing it as any others in the world. There is no chance for the welfare of the world And unless the condition of women is improved, it is not possible for a bird to fly on only one wing.
With 500 men, the conquest of India might take 50 years. With as many women, not more than few weeks.
Never say no. Never say I cannot. For you are infinite. You can do anything and everything.
Swami Vivekananda always laid the noble examples of Sita, Savitri, Damayanti, Leelavati, Kanha and Meera. The ideal education, he said, would be that which would best enable every woman in time to come to resume into herself the greatness of all the women of the Indian past.
Stand up, be bold, be strong, take the whole responsibilities on your own shoulders and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. All the strength and succor you want is within yourself. All the parts in the universe are already ours. It is we who have put our hands before our eyes and cry that it is dark.
Swami Vivekananda glorified the Indian women of the past for their great achievements as leaders in various walks of life. To change the idea that Indian women are weak, he referred to her in America. This small Hindu race produces fighting women from time to time. Therefore, believe in yourself and the world will be at your feet.
Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you.
Jai Ramakrishna.
Thank you, Parvita. Thank you, Sri Chandana. May Mother Durga and Holy Mother bless you all. A reaction from our guest speaker from Mumbai. What do you think of this recitation and your wishes to our young children? Mrs. Vidya, Raghu?
Very beautiful. I'm so impressed with the choice of the beautiful quotes that you have picked up. It just shows so much of involvement and so much of understanding. Swamiji, you're doing a great job in inspiring these children.
Parvita, take the things and improve. Sky is the limit.
Sky is the limit.
May I request Sumita Roy to come on stage and share a few opening remarks on this beautiful occasion, please. Srimati Sumita Roy is a retired professor of English from the Osman University and connected with all our centers and Hyderabad and Human Excellence and School of Languages. Dr. Sumita Roy, please.
Namaste Maharaj, and greetings to everybody. It's a wonderful topic which Bodhamayanandaji has chosen for today, because a lot of treasure is lying in our traditions. We all know that when we read the Devi Mahatyam in these last few days, we find that the Devi is given a lot of energy and a lot of weapons to fight evil. And that is given by the entire society, by all the devas and everybody. The sun gives the brightness and the Nag gives the money. All this we read. How is it a culture which has this and the wonderful quotations which we heard from the young girls? All these treasures are lying, but we are not able to make the best of these treasures. This is where resurgence comes. It is not enough to have examples which are only one or two. This morning I was discussing with our young Aishwarya that, it's wonderful to talk about Sister Nivedita. It's wonderful to talk about Holy Mother Sharada Devi or great women of India. But now what Bodhamayanandaji's aim is that every girl should be a Sita or Savitri, or every girl should be a Nivedita. It is not necessary to have only examples of great people. It is important to emulate great people. To do it, we have to do it, as Swamiji rightly mentioned just now, from an inner transformation. We found that education has come. Now women are highly educated. The percentage has become huge when we measure through the UGC and the Literacy Council and all. We have huge amount of women who are educated, sometimes much more than men. But again, we are making this kind of a gender divide. Vivekananda said that the men and women are like two wings of the bird. Unless both the wings flap, unless both the wings are active, the bird cannot move forward. So if we are hampering this bird, just before Navratri, you get lots of messages saying that Mother Durga is worshipped and the Durga at home is ill-treated. Can we not bring about a change with our little effort, individually, collectively, as a team, as Bodhamayanandaji just now said, not only VIHE, but everywhere. Their empowerment comes from the mother. You know, the greatest Shakti is the mother who is the first teacher of the child. If the mother is able to inculcate this respect for women, both in her sons and daughters, I think the crime rate will become zero. That is where we are not able to succeed, because that training, which is a preschool training, is missing. The mother herself feels a sense of inferiority. The educated children feel, oh, my mother, you know, she's only a housewife. The most important character in the Indian womanhood is the housewife. Let us read Sister Nivedita's Web of Indian Life and see how important this lady of the house is, and not insult her by saying that only career women are great and others are not. Competition is very good when we compete with ourselves. Let women learn to do this. Today I'm so good. Tomorrow let me be better. This kind of an inward transformation, externally, yes, economic independence, social freedom, legal independence, and also, of course, a lot of education. These are all external factors. But what is the internal factor? Like Bodhamayanandaji mentioned very beautifully, the girls recited, you know, autonomy, self-confidence, the feeling of ethics and values, the feeling that I can make a change in society. Can we bring about this? I'm sure the three eminent speakers will tell us about it, how to bring it to every child, the girl and the boy, realizing that the different genders are actually complementary, they are not conflicting. If we can do this, then I think India will go into that leadership role which Swami Vivekananda visualized, which today also our Prime Minister and others visualize, that a leadership not by conquering people, but a leadership by internal transformation, by bringing out self-improvement. This is what we require. And that is where all these Rsurgent programs are important. But today's program on Nari Shakti is very important. Nari is only the women, but Shakti is everybody. It is the urja in us. It is the energy in us. That which makes us alive, that which leaves us and we become dead. So if we can awaken this with a teamwork, Swamiji is there to guide us, but all of us need to do this work. A lot of activity is going on in Sharda Math, in Rasik Bhita, in Nihar and all, which Swamiji referred to. Everybody is there to help us, but we need to help ourselves. Let us do that. The three speakers, I'm sure, will give specific examples of the work which can uplift all people and take them towards this, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sanstita. That Shakti we want in everybody. Thank you. Pranam Maharaj.
Thank you, Dr. Sumita Roy, as usual, precise and thoughtful presentation, giving us the key to understand the topic much better. Thank you once again. Namaste. So we'll move into the main agenda of today's webinar, is the listening and contemplating, and the youth should listen and also question and interact with the three wonderful young speakers. I request our volunteer Chaitanya to take over and introduce Srimati Swati Ram. Chaitanya can come online. Chaitanya, you can unmute and speak.
Yeah, My pranams to Holy Trio and pranams to Swamiji, all the honorable speakers for the day, and my dear participants. I am very happy to introduce Swati Ram Madam. Yes, Swati Ram Madam is an acclaimed thought leader, facilitator, and a speaker in the development sector. With more than 9 years of vast and rich experience at the grassroots, working full-time. She has been an ardent follower of the Ramakrishna mission and Swami Vivekananda from her early stage, and is invited as a motivational speaker on various platforms. Madam has led the efforts in relief and rehabilitation during natural calamities in Uttarakhand in the year 2013 and in Chennai in 2015. Kumbha Seva Mitra during Prayag Kumbha 2019, yes, and many other national causes like. She has a holistic volunteering experiences across geographics, including urban slums, rural and tribal areas. She has collaborated with NGOs, educational institutes, corporates, and individuals from all walks of the society. She has a strong and balanced understanding of their needs and challenges, and has designed and conducted various workshops on strategic planning, leadership development, and stockholders engagement, and so on. She has also chaired many panel discussions on CSR, community, and volunteering engagement, delivered talks on volunteering landscapes in India, in various forums across USA, being featured on live radio and invited as a delegate at various prestigious meetups. Prior to plunging into the social services full-time in 2011, she worked as an IT professional in Infosys and Xero's BCGI, which she believes added to her valuable repertoire of experience. Experience and learning. She worked in Youth for Seva since the inception of its second chapter in Hyderabad, and was instrumental in spreading the movement to 30 plus chapters across India. Swati Ram Madam is currently National Executive Member at Youth for Seva and also serves on the Board of Advisors for being volunteers, creating a positive impact on the society through volunteering. Her emphasis is on every individual's ability and responsibility to be and lead the change towards nation building. And we are eagerly waiting to hear you, Madam. Thank you.
Yes, Namaste Swati Ramji, welcome to the webinar once again, and you can address the participants today. Swati Ramji can come online, unmute and speak.
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. I bow down to the Divine Mother who manifests as Shakti, or the innate tremendous potential that all of us have within ourselves. My humble pranams at the holy feet of the Divine Trio and Swami Bodhamayanandaji. He's the one who has always prodded me to speak. So when people introduce me as a motivational speaker or something, there were times when Swamiji used to call and I used to be scared to pick up my phone, thinking, oh my God, he's going to call me to say something on stage. But he was really pent up on it, and I'm so glad he pushed me into it, because it gives me a forum to share my experiences. So thank you so much for that, Swamiji. I think this is a wonderful topic today, and very close to, of course, all our hearts. And the two young women here, I won't call them girls, because we're talking about Nari Shakti and women, the power. They already spoke a lot, and Sumitaji, of course, surmised it so well that I'm wondering what should I really say here, because we all know what is to be said. But like Chaitanya introduced, I have had the fortune of being at the grassroots for more than 9 years now, and I've met some amazingly inspiring people. So I would just like to share a few anecdotes which will, help us understand better than what we just probably read in books, and think as to what Shakti really means. This happened a few years ago. I think it is more than 7 or 8 years. Like Chaitanya introduced, I was then in Hyderabad. I was the city coordinator of Youth for Seva in Hyderabad. And obviously, so my number was everywhere, and anybody who would want to volunteer in Hyderabad would give me a call. The calls usually ranged from, students to homemakers who had a variety of queries. They used to ask, when can I really volunteer? How many hours should I really give? Will it really make a difference if I volunteer? Or, of course, there were a lot of students who also asked if we would give them certificates. One day I received a call where the lady who talked from the other end, I couldn't really figure out much of her age over call, but she did mention that she's a working woman. She has a good amount of time to give back to the society. But her questions were not really about what can she do or how many hours has she to give, will she make a difference. But she asked me questions like, does your office have a ramp? Do you have a lift? And how much time, how many stairs does it have, even if the lift fails, kind of thing. Being in the social sector, you try to become a little sensible because you would have met all kinds of people. And I didn't really ask her why she knew, but I could somehow guess that probably she was Divyang or differently abled. So she asked for a ramp or a lift so that she could come probably on a wheelchair and get to her office. The next morning when she came, I won't say shocked or surprised, but I wasn't really off of what I saw. This lady had a modified Tata Winger, a very huge vehicle. She would always lie on a stretcher because she was paralyzed neck down. Nothing would move. From her neck, she was paralyzed. She could only use all the, eyes, ears, and and she was lying down. They got out the stretcher. They put her on a specifically modified chair again. That is why she had asked for a ramp. And then we put her into the lift and she came to the office. Any moment during the talk that I had with her, she never even mentioned how she came to that state or what happened. All she kept saying was, Swati, I have a lot in me and I can give back to the society. God has given me a lot and I want to give back to the society. Imagine how much we crib for every small thing we do in life. And here is a lady who is paralyzed neck down, one hand pains. We actually shifted our home yesterday until 11:30, 12. They were unpacking, and today morning session, I was already like, oh my God, how much of work. And then, you start thinking whether we can really come back and present ourselves somewhere. And here is a lady who has been saying, God has given me so much and I want to give back to the society. And she herself said, don't think I can't do things. My communication is very good. I can talk to people. She couldn't move her hand. She said, she had voice typing software. I can tell the name, it will dial. I can ask people. I can motivate them to volunteer. So just tell me, what can I do? I can do 4 to 5 hours per day. And this has somehow stuck with me. And whenever I think of Shakti, right, this is one of the incidents which really comes in front of me. So imagine the kind of tremendous potential we have. We crib for small things we have, and this lady wanted to give back to the society. The second such example, which I always remember, an anecdote that I give is like she shared. Again, I was fortunate to be, able to volunteer in relief efforts in Uttarakhand. One of the real eye-opening experiences in my life. So in Uttarakhand, very hilly areas, we all used to slip. We didn't know when we would fall down because Ganga was actually roaring. Wet mud everywhere. We had to trek with our luggage, no vehicles. When we were going to a village for survey like that, there was a 70 years old woman. I don't even want to call her old. Maybe I can just say age. She was, leading this mountain path so briskly with us. Her name was Ganga Sarani again, so beautiful, and I can never forget her. Such brisk walk, and like Swamiji says, she was a woman on a mission. She was climbing these hills. And when we went to the top of the hill, she just had this such a gentle, calm look on her face, and she was seeing something around. I asked her, "Kya hua, Maji?" And she said, "I lost all my fields to the floods. All this that I can see from here, you see, are my fields, and I lost them to the floods." She had tears in her eyes, and I said, "Oh, you don't know what to say at that moment. You can't even say sorry. They've lost everything their life meant for. It's not a house which could probably be reconstructed also." So she said, नहीं नहीं ऐसे नहीं बेटा, ये तो गंगा मैया ने ही किया है, हमने कुछ तो गलत किया होगा that Ganga Maya has done this. Maybe we were really wrong in some way that Ganga Maya chose to show her fury that way. So from that brisk walking woman who seemed like a woman on a mission, I saw this gentle look. And when Swamiji said after Navratri we are doing this, I remembered that when we worship Navadurga, she is this nurturer Skandamata. She's also the slayer Kalaratri. And probably I saw all of these emotions in Ganga Sarani that day. I think that should really tell us, all my young friends here, what Shakti really means and what we have within us. Over the years, I have seen a lot of such examples, of course, both in men and women, because Shakti is in each of us. But because this is dedicated to Nari Shakti, I went to Medak, where a girl on a wheelchair again, she was a slum girl. She used to say, I have received education, so I want to teach my brothers and sisters in the slums. She used to come on the wheelchair all the way to come sit there and teach them. Another girl that I met in Hyderabad itself, I was very surprised. I didn't know her when I met, but her sister told me that she had had a cornea implant and she had only 25% of her vision. And again, that confidence, the confidence, conviction she had, she never spoke about it. She was only telling me, हाँ दीदी मुझे volunteering करना है और क्योंकि मुझे दिखता नहीं है, I need a magnifying glass. I will teach the children in an orphanage, but I need a magnifying glass to correct their assignments. Imagine, and she told it just as a matter of fact. It didn't hurt her that she had 25% vision. She was ready to give back to the society. All age groups, you'll see the manifestations of Shakti like this. I keep quoting this example of a doctor from US who came to volunteer with me in Kumbh Mela. I was in charge of the Seva Mitra program, where we were primarily engaging doctors in volunteering in Kumbh Mela, providing free service to all pilgrims. As soon as she landed from US, she asked, Acha, when does my shift start? No jet lag, no chai milega kya when it is so cold. So this is the way Shakti manifests. And it just reminds me that Swamiji kept saying that whenever they've had an opportunity, women have proved time and again that they have as much ability as men have had. Only with this advantage that they seldom degenerate and they hold on to this moral compass, the standards of morals which are innate within them. I mean, imagine this statement. I think we might read any amount of Swamiji's works, but if you just reflect on how careful he is, he didn't say when women are given an opportunity. Nobody gives anybody an opportunity. He said whenever they've had an opportunity. Whenever women have had an opportunity, they have proved that they have as much ability. And you can see this manifested everywhere in the society. As recently as the beginning of this year, I was reading some very interesting news. All of you, I don't know, some of you would have seen it. Rajasthan got the distinction of getting both the youngest and the oldest sarpanch of this time. I'm sure Swamiji would have also followed. So there was this 21-year-old girl who became a sarpanch. There was also a 97-year-old woman called Vidya Devi who became a sarpanch in Rajasthan. So when 60, 70, 80, sometimes even some of us nowadays at 30, 40 people start saying, Abhi kya hai, life mein kya bacha hai, aaram se settle ho jana or our life is done. I keep wondering, here is a woman at 97. And when they asked her, why did you want to be a sarpanch? She said, I wanted to work for women, widows who struggle to get their pensions. And I want to see that every house in my village has drinking water. Imagine having that kind of a goal, that kind of a vision. I think these are also youth. They're just giving back to the society so much than they take, like we keep saying in Youth for Seva. So this is the 97-year-old, Shakti manifested woman that we have. All such lot of examples you will see. If you saw the Padma awardees for the last 2-3 years, right? Again, like Sumita ji said, all walks of life, you can bring about resurgence. I mean, this program that Bodhamayanandaji has been doing is an exact example of that. You don't have to be only this and that to make a difference in life. In any field that you're, be it music, art, Seva, IT, whatever it is, you can make a difference. So you would have read about Anuradha Koirala. She runs something called Mighty, which itself translates to Mother's Home in Nepal. Imagine a lady who has saved more than 20,000 girls who were prone to trafficking. She rehabilitated them and she prevented more than 48,000, is what I'm told, from just being trafficked, right? And then there is Salu Marada Timmaka. I'm from Karnataka, so maybe I'm partial to her. All of you would have read about her. Salu is row in Kannada and Mara is trees. So she planted rows and rows of 8,000 trees. Imagine the kind of shade we have because of her today. And she treats each tree like her child. Casual laborer somewhere who felt she wanted to plant trees. Then you would have read about Meenakshi Amma. She is the oldest exponent of Kalaripa. So there is no dearth of energy of, what you want to do, any field that you choose. And again, this Dr. Dadi, Dr. Bhakti Yadav, right? All of you would have read about her again. More than 90 years of age. She has been giving free medical treatment for the last 68 years. Thousands of deliveries done free of cost. These are the kind of people that, represent the Shakti of India. I was reading an article where an anchor said he interviewed tennis player Martina Navratilova. She might be very old for a lot of you young people here, but for all of us, she was like the ideal then. So this Martina Navratilova, apparently when somebody asked her, how are you so sharp and focused in your game, even at the age of 43? So she apparently said, how does my ball know my age? What we need to do is stop ourselves from stopping ourselves. Most of the times we are the only people inhibiting our own energy, inhibiting our own potential. So she said, stop yourself from stopping yourself. So how beautiful is that? So this is the manifestation of Shakti we are looking at, which we could see through all these examples. And since we are talking about Vivekananda, Vivekananda truly believed that, Bharat and Vedanta, especially that we have here, it's such a huge, vast, valuable knowledge of Vedanta in India that is going to bring the change in the whole world, let alone in India. And he said women are going to play a very important part in this, that is in making Bharat a Vishwa Guru or a world power, as we talk about. And like Swamiji also briefly touched upon at the beginning of the session today, right? Every time we speak about feminine power or Matra Shakti, it is not really limited to just women. All of us have masculine power and feminine power within us. That is why we say Ardhanarishvara, no? Shiva Shakti in India. We have it within ourselves, men have it within themselves, even nations have it in them, both the masculine and the feminine powers. So the West is usually, said that it is the masculine West. That is the very growth oriented. It's not wrong to grow, but the most important point is how do you grow? So West is supposed to be a masculine West. Of course, great things to learn from them. The East, India and the other countries, right, the subcontinent, we are known to be the feminine East. And what are the feminine qualities that are there? It is long-sightedness. We never do things like, what is going to get, I just want to do something and finish it in 2 days. What is going to be the impact on the future? That is how, through generations in India, we've been living in a lot of synergy with all elements of the nature. So this long-sightedness and interconnectedness, we are always there for each other. If you see the way India has performed during the pandemic, when nobody waited for really government to declare something, or even the bigger institutions, every person, you can see so many examples who started doing their own bit to serve the society. So that interconnectedness, this is what brings about the sustainability and the harmony in the society. So that is what is known as the feminine power. As women, we should be very glad that we carry more of that feminine power, but it's there in every man and every nation. And today that sustainability is what the world needs. Imagine United Nations now has sustainable development goals. They have a lot of labels, they're following it, asking every country to battle climate action, makes us SDGs their priority. And in India, if you read each of them, they say no hunger. We have been doing Annadana for ages for the same reason. So the sustainability is the core of this feminine nature, which is inherent in India. And unfortunately, today we are only thinking about growth, right? We are imitating people thinking about growth. But growth has to come with values. Nobody is asking us not to grow. And this is the essence when Nari Shakti for Rsurgent India, for me, definitely as women, like a lot of examples I gave, we have that tremendous potential. And like Vivekananda also said that when given an opportunity, when we have the opportunity, not given, we really show our ability there. Also with the, advantage, like he said, of no degeneration. We keep it, and that's again sustainability. This is how all these factors connect into each other. So today, if there is one message, if we have to take away, we should believe that we are the source of this power. And there's no empowerment needed for us. What is more needed is, as women, all of us realize this potential inside us. And as human beings and as nations, all of us realize the importance of the Shakti part of it, the feminine energy, the feminine power, like I told you all about. Growth is necessary, but if we realize and manifest this feminine power to a more extent, that is when the world becomes sustainable and more interconnected than ever. That would really be my message for Resurgent India, Resurgent world, and more importantly for Bharata to be the Vishwa Guru, where we're going to lead the way through Vedanta, and as women we will definitely pave the way for it. Dhanyavada, Vande Mataram.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your willing contribution. You have won hearts of each one of us today. You have ignited the fire and motivated us to revive our own Nari Shakti. And your examples, your experiences, and grassroots level experiences especially are the true manifestation of Nari Shakti. Thank you once again for your precious time. Have a great session ahead, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Siri, and Swati, we'll get back to you after the two speeches for some
Yes, yes.
participants. So, okay. May I request our volunteer Deepti to introduce the next speaker, please?
Yes, Swamiji, my pranams at the feet of Holy Trio and namaste to everyone. Namaste, Swamiji. Today we have with us Vidya Raghu ma'am, who is an architect and urbanist practicing and teaching in Mumbai. Ma'am is interested in interdisciplinary approaches to design of urban contexts using the lenses of user-centered design, sociology and ecology, working at the grassroots with urban slum communities. Ma'am is currently a professor at BSSA NMM IMS. Vidya ma'am is managing trustee of Ramakrishna Sharada Samithi, working with disadvantaged communities in slums in the areas of education, public health, and livelihoods. Ma'am was awarded a national award for design for the Knowledge Village project on design for learning environments. She has designed and collaborated on the Global Citizen project that twinned young people from Bristol and Mumbai slum communities. Ma'am is currently working on ways to empower people to re-engage with the city and is researching on new ways of mapping and platforms for participation that can allow communities to design incremental changes in public health, sanitation, and access to livelihoods. We are blessed to have you with us, ma'am, and our hearty welcomes to you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Pradeepti, for this introduction. Respected Swami Bodhamayanandaji, dear co-panelists, Swati Ram and Aishwarya, and friends and viewers from India and abroad who are attending this webinar. I'm very happy to be here for this webinar, and I would like to thank Swamiji for giving me this opportunity to reflect on this concept of Nari Shakti and share my thoughts on the revival of Nari Shakti for a resurgent India. See, I have lived in Mumbai all my life, and I teach at a university in Mumbai. I meet and interact with highly ambitious students, girl students, go-getters, creative, accomplished professional women in leadership roles in education, corporate sector, technologies. We have entrepreneurs, planners, policymakers. These inspiring women are breaking the glass ceiling and doing path-breaking work in their respective fields. In the very same urban area that I live, just within a 5-kilometer radius, I work for an NGO, Ramakrishna Sharada Samithi. This work with Ramakrishna Sharada Samithi, RKSS, brings me very closely in touch with girls and women from slums in Mumbai. For all of those who don't know, around 55% of the population of Mumbai lives in slums, and around 37% are migrants who have come to the city from various rural and semi-urban areas of the country. Most women in the community are uneducated, dropouts from schools. Some are daily laborers, others are homemakers, unemployed. Some of them work part-time as maids. Many, in fact most of these women face some kind of domestic oppression, maybe violence. They are not financially dependent. They come to our center with severe malnutrition, health issues. So we have both these types of women. Is the first type of Nari who is educated and breaking the glass ceiling empowered, and is the second type unempowered? These are questions to think about. On the one hand, women have access to better education, jobs, decision-making powers, and opportunities. On the other hand, women of all strata have been facing increased violence inside and outside the home, acute wage differentials, and discrimination and continuing commodification in society, irrespective of class and economic status. Now, the condition of women in India is heavily dependent on many different variables, and these include geographical locations, urban, rural, the educational status, the social status, caste, class, age, We can see various degrees of access to resources, services, and also access to opportunities. And in fact, we see the diverse lived realities, different cultural beliefs, and complex and multiple layers of discrimination that hinder women's access to services, opportunities, and oftentimes in the very same geographical area. In the 73 years of independent India, there have been many progressive steps, policies, legislations, programs. Development programs introduced to bring gender equality have produced mixed results. Legislative changes have faced resistance in the implementation due to social, cultural, religious mores. Now, the change in social norms and mindsets towards girls and women is needed both at the micro level and the macro level. Any amount of resource allocation, legislation, policy will just make that much of a dent unless women wake up and change their own circumstances. Swami Vivekananda says that women must be put in a position to solve their own problems in their own way. No one can or ought to do this for them. And our Indian women are quite capable of doing it as any in the world. This calls for introspection and re-examination of how we can approach women's empowerment that is fueled by women themselves to shift societal structures and effect change. I will be just screen sharing, so it'll take me 2 minutes. Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj has given us a great trigger to begin this examination with the concept of Nari Shakti. Nari Shakti has been part of the rich cultural and spiritual tradition of India. Our cultural soil is rich with stories of great women, spiritual ideals such as Sita, Savitri, Holy Mother, references to great intellectual giants such as Gargi, Maitreyi in our Upanishads, thought leaders in the modern age such as Sister Nivedita, Savitri Bai Phule, and so many other great personalities. These great personalities are ideals and they inspire every Indian woman across the length and breadth of India, across every strata of society. They may not fall immediately into the mold of the modern, active, emancipated, individualistic woman that most of us see as this empowered woman. But a closer and in-depth study will reveal very strong women with deep spiritual foundations. And we will see a cultural embedded manifestation of empowerment, infused with purity, motherliness, self-sacrifice, and strength. These ideals have planted itself deep into the Indian consciousness. The Chandi that we all read in our homes in Navratri has these beautiful words. Vidya samastastava devi bheda striya samasta sakala jagatsu. All women are manifestation of that primeval Shakti, the supporter, the creator, the nurturer of the universe. Nari is a manifestation of that infinite power, that Shakti. If women in India just but recognize this infinite potential, their own Shaktihood, the process of real empowerment will begin from inside, from the self. Today we find that women believe that the woman believes that she's Abala Nari. This start of the journey, from Abala Nari to Nari Shakti, that is our big challenge. Now, these powerful ideals and metaphors need to be invoked, and that too in a language that even the illiterate woman in rural India appreciates, understands. And she can regain her self-worth by harnessing this vast spiritual, cultural reservoir of potential Shaktihood. This shift from Abala Nari to Nari Shakti is the shift from lack of faith in oneself and vulnerability to one of self-worth and strength. this shift is also means that the small, insignificant, weak individual is transformed to this vast, free personality who can change her own circumstances and society. This journey of expansion from the Abala Nari to Nari and then to Nari Shakti is the essence of revival of Nari Shakti. Swami Ranganathananda says, as an individual, you are a genetically limited entity, confined to your own likes and dislikes, your own desires, your own ambitions. But as soon as you become a person, you expand. You're able to enter into the life of other people and also get responses from other people. This is the difference between individual and personality. The several anecdotes which were given by our previous speaker talked about so many of those women who actually discovered their Shaktihood. They saw themselves as manifestations of Shakti. They didn't see themselves as vulnerable, powerless, weaker sex. They saw themselves as one who was a free, equal citizen, contributing to society, had the skills, capabilities, access to services. She could influence her family, she can influence her community, she can influence her society. She would like to contribute in a way and see that other women along with her are also empowered. So this shift from the disempowered woman, this disempowered individual, to this empowered personality, that is a big journey that every woman has to undertake. From the Abala Nari to expressing one's own Nari Shakti through the expansion of the self into a personality. That big journey that every woman has to take is what Maharaj in the early part of the talk spoke about inner growth. So now one can question, how do you go about it? I mean, there are women who have already reached a point where they're agents of change. They're already these vast Shaktis who are doing so much for society, who want to contribute and who themselves are empowered. But the vast mass of women in this country are not in that state. They are stuck at the Abala Nari level. So what are the dimensions in which we have to begin to see this whole journey? The woman has to start with her personal empowerment, her self-worth. She has to build her own individual capacities. And from there, the family, the community, she has to begin to influence that. What is her say in her family? Does she have any decision-making process? Have any decision-making capacity in the family? Does she have any control of any kind of resource? And from their empowerment, the empowered woman who has begun to see her self-worth will now begin to influence her family and then will begin to influence society. Where the place of society, of women in society, the cultural norms, the opportunities and rights which the women can actually access are severely restricted today. So when the woman begins to grow, when the woman begins to understand and see her own power, the power within herself, and begin to manifest that, maybe small in the beginning, but as she begins to grow, she will begin to change society around her. And through that, society, after all, is a nation. As a nation, if we want a resurgent India, if we want the nation itself to begin to see this, the strength of Nari, then this kind of journey has to start immediately and start at every level, at whichever level the woman is. And this cannot happen just, in a particular dimension. It has to happen in the economic dimension, in the political-legal dimension, in the socio-cultural dimension. In all these dimensions, we need different forms of empowerment, different ways in which the women can begin to impact and begin to affect change. So this whole journey from the individual to the personality and to the manifestation of the Nari Shakti as a change agent is what is, at the center of, operationalizing this idea of empowerment and actually making it happen. Once the woman is empowered personally and at the self level, and she becomes an empowered personality, she will then empower other people, and then we will find societal change. So this kind of multi-level, multi-dimensional framework that we need for empowerment at multiple levels can actually begin to be understood at through institutions. It can be begin to be put into action through not only women power themselves, the woman herself expanding and beginning to affect change in her society, but also through institutions, civil society, and all other kinds of community activities, volunteerism, which can actually come together to strengthen this process and give the woman the chance to begin to grow, to begin to break those shackles which have completely caught her for so many years, have made her abala, and get the self-confidence to start this journey. I will use my own understandings garnered from my work at Ramakrishna Sharada Samithi. Ramakrishna Sharada Samithi itself was set up by 4 highly empowered women, Nari Shaktis in their own right. 50 years ago, they were fired by the ideals of service of Swami Vivekananda and the Holy Trio, and were given this support and push by Swami Raghunathanandaji Maharaj. And all these 3 women started this small center in Mumbai, in the slums of Mumbai. Now, these women were doctors, very highly praised, privileged, coming from highly privileged society. But that spirit of service, that faith in the words of Swamiji, that strength that they got from Holy Mother, and all of these came together, and these women came and began to, work with the women of the slum. And slowly, it started with education, and then putting healthcare, and then vocational training. And slowly, this whole community programs began to increase and began to impact more and more people. But let me tell you one thing. It started first with the understanding that you cannot set up such a, empowerment engine sitting somewhere else, sitting in, away from the community. The community has to have access to it. The community women have to be attracted to it. They have to want to come. They have to want to see it. They want to have to examine it and then begin to become part of the community. So once that is done, to do this, the ladies went through a lot of struggle. They used to come weekly, bring biscuits, bring milk, because they knew children were not getting milk, drew all the women. Then the women started getting confidence. They knew that these people were not, they came with a Seva bhav, and women started coming, and they said, we want a creche, we want a balwadi, we want health. And from the felt needs of the people began this process, and completely women driven. From there to today, 12 years ago, when I started getting associated with the Ramakrishna Sharada Samithi, I could see the importance of this cultural embeddedness and this situationist, the situationing of the empowerment engine, which created this entire, kind of intergenerational access. Women mothers came in with their children for the creche, but they were also childbearing. So the doctors had access to them to begin to, give them understandings of fertility and reproductive health. And the children started getting, a good education, values. And while the children were left here, the ladies could begin to, examine and see what was possible. And then vocational training programs were initiated. So they took interest and, started showing that, am I also capable of doing this? And they started with learning tailoring, or learning a beauty course, or terracotta jewelry. And so this whole process of slowly attracting them and, embedding and bringing them into this embedded community environment is the first step. And once that is done, then the process of awakening can begin. Because the very, the kind of resources that they have access to is one thing, but the kind of people they meet, the doctors, the social workers, the teachers, the community teachers who are also extremely motivated, who are change makers themselves, and a lot of good thinking. Matajis come from Pune, Maharajis come from Ramakrishna Mission in Mumbai, and there is so much of, a kind of infusion of thinking and values and a service orientation, and everybody there knows that this is a Seva organization, so there is no profit involved. That breaks down so many barriers because women are able to accept it, wholeheartedly embrace this kind of place. And the first thing that happens after that is that women start feeling community. They are not alone. They are part of this larger women group. They are part of this larger community that they can always, harness, they can discuss, they can negotiate, they can understand, and they can, change their circumstances collectively. So once you begin to attract and you begin to spark that self-confidence through, access to resources, through abilities, through capabilities, then you begin to see that, they start to grow. And they become part of this entire engine that is growing and changing the society around themselves. So here you can see a small, it just shows you all the various components that come together in this particular case. This 360 degrees kind of empowerment sees that different women from different kinds for different needs are able to be brought together. And at the center of all of this is awakening. Awakening of the woman, awakening to her infinite potential, the fact that she has the capacity, the confidence, and through every little step that she takes, every little growth that she does, her capacity, her self-confidence is growing, and along with her children, her family, all are getting influenced, and all of them are also understanding the power of this kind of, growth in the person. So you change one woman's life, you give the capacity to one woman and she will change her entire family. And the entire community will change because of this one woman. And that is Mother. That is Holy Mother. So this awakening that happens has to come from a deeper space, has to come from a space of self-awareness, self-belief, self-esteem, and even deeper than that, it has to come from deeper values and ideals. Ideals such as Holy Mother, Sister Nivedita, and all of these wonderful ideals that our Indian culture has offered us to, use as underpinnings of our and foundations of our empowerment process. So here are some, of course, there are many examples, and there are lots of success stories, and there are lots of, I've seen so many women, amazing women who have done so many things. But since time is short, I will just share with you some pictures of, the kind of, work that goes on, and the kind of, engine that a small center started with a Seva ideal 50 years ago is doing. It is still small, but the impact is large. It is deep. It is not loud, but it is deep, and it actually is changing society. So from these learnings, I think that, there are many things to understand from, how civil society can actually begin to contribute, how Seva organizations can, and I think there are already so many doing such fantastic work. And this is a small example in that direction. So, to end our discussion on this topic, Swamiji says that there is no chance for welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. It is not possible for a bird to fly on only one wing. Educate your women first, leave them to themselves, and they will tell you what reforms are necessary for them. Our right for interference is limited entirely to giving education. So we can see that women are the best judge of their lives, and the institutions, platforms, support they need are all to be decided by the women. While each woman has to work out her own solution, collectively in close affinity groups, women will find support and forge partnerships to challenge unequal norms and create societal change needed for a stronger, resurgent India. So I can conclude that this examination of Nari Shakti has opened up a new area in my own life to begin to see this, and I thank Maharaj for this. A resurgent India is possible only when there is a revival of Nari Shakti. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you for an inspiring and insightful presentation, ma'am. And it's an enlightening experience listening to you. The way you have elucidated everything on reviving Nari Shakti for a resurgent India and personal empowerment of women for societal empowerment. and the strength of Nari and the mission of Ramakrishna Seva Samithi on dimensions of strengthening Nari Shakti and everything has deeply touched our hearts. And I'm sure that all the participants in this platform are equally motivated and empowered. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Vidya ji. Wonderful presentation. More to learn, more to hear, and more to see your work and have an interaction with our volunteers also. Thank you very much. May we request Dr. Sharada, who is one of our devotees and from her childhood. She is an accomplished musician, a medical doctor, and connected with the Ramakrishna Math in Bangalore from her very birth, should I say. And I request her to render a song on Mother Durga. Over to Dr. Sharada.
Namaste to one and all.
Namaste. Sharada, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ಯಾ?
Ha, Swami.
ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. You can start.
Nice. Shruti namagam ye suvedha gamagna. Shruti namagam ye suvedha gamagna. Mahim no na jananti param tavamba. Mahim no na jananti param tavamba. Stutim kartumicchami te tvam bhavani. Stutim kartumicchami te tvam bhavani. Kshamasvedamatra pramugdhakhilaham. Kshamasvedamatra pramugdhakhilaham. Gurustvam shivastvam cha shaktistvameva. Gurustvam shivastvam cha shaktistvameva. Tvamevasi mata pita cha tvameva. Gurustvam shivastvam cha shaktistvameva. Tvamevasi mata pita cha tvameva. Tvamevasi Vidya. Tvamevasi bandhu. Tvamevasi Vidya. Tvamevasi bandhu. Gatir me matir devi sarvan tvameva. Gatir me matir devi sarvan tvameva. Sharanye varenye sukarunyamurte. Sharanye varenye sukarunyamurte. Hiranyodaradyiraganye supunye. Hiranyodaradyiraganye supunye. Sharanye varenye sukarunyamurte. Hiranyodaradyiraganye supunye. Bhavaranyabhitescha mam pahi bhadre. Bhavaranyabhitescha mam pahi bhadre. Namaste, namaste, namaste Bhavani. Namaste, namaste, namaste Bhavani. Namaste, namaste, namaste Bhavani, namaste, namaste, namaste Bhavani. Namaste, namaste, namaste Bhavani, namaste Bhavani, namaste Bhavani.
ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಮ್ಗೆ ಸದಸ್ಯರಾಗಬೇಕು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ವಿವೇಕಾಂಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಲಾಭ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಬರಬೇಕು. Over to Sri Charitha, please, for a word of thanks. Sri Charitha can mute and speak.
Namaste Swamiji, namaste madam. It was so nice to hear you. It was a very divine rendition. Thank you very much. It was very soothing and it has set the path right for the further talk and imbibing the values and all. So thank you very much.
Song composed by Adi Shankaracharya, his devotion, his respect, his high, this one on the Divine Mother Durga. Namaste Bhavani, Namaste Bhavani. May the Divine Mother bless all of us. Over to Spandana to introduce the next speaker, please. Spandana can mute and speak.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah.
My pranams to Holy Trio and Swamiji and to all the guest speakers here. I would like to introduce CA Aishwarya Ji. Aishwarya Ji is the founder of Vision World. The main motive of the institute is preparing test series and activity-based sessions for CA students, giving a detailed and semantic analysis of the individual is her core strength. Aishwarya Ji is the topper in her SSC and pursued her BCom from Brihan Maharashtra College of Commerce. She is the youngest girl to receive award of Miss BMCC in BMCC College, and also completed her master's and did her articleship in Subhash M. Hiran Company. She has developed skills in poetry, drama, and given many stage shows. She strongly believes that the only person you are destined to be is the person you decide to be. Welcome, ma'am. We are blessed to listen from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Aishwarya, namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Yes, platform is yours.
Thank you. कुछ कर दिखाना है यही है अभिलाषा, कुछ बन के दिखाना है यही है अभिलाषा, बढ़ाएंगे कदम आगे सदा नई ऊंचाई छूने को, कोशिश रहेगी हमारी सदा सर्वोत्तम कार्य करने को, मिले मान ना मिले सम्मान, ना रहेंगे पीछे ना इंसाफी सहने को, रुकना बचना हरना नहीं है हमारा सपना, कुछ कर दिखाना इसीलिए हुआ है जन्म अपना. Pranam to Swamiji and all the eminent speakers, and namaste to one and all. I extend my sincere gratitude to Swamiji for giving me this wonderful opportunity today to talk about Nari Shakti. The very moment I speak about Nari Shakti, I feel this energy within. Well, I have been a witness to Nari Shakti at various occasions in my life. And today, I proudly say that many of these people, the women I look up to, have contributed very positively in my life. To start my talk, I would like to narrate a small incident that is very close to my heart. While I was pursuing my chartered accountancy course, I used to travel to my office for articleship. There was an old lady about 70 to 75 years, very skinny and very short in height. She was a grandma, and she used to be there in the parking lot sweeping the floor. It so used to happen that whenever I used to go there, she was doing the cleaning thing. And very soon we connected, we developed a bond. And whenever I used to go there, I used to look at her, and she used to smile back, and I used to smile back. So this developed eventually. And it later so happened that whenever I was about to come, she used to already keep her things ready, and she used to come to my vehicle and say, "Hi, how are you, beta?" And I used to feel all the warmth and energy. I had learned selfless love from her. It was Guru Purnima, and I decided that I look up to her as my Guru. She's been teaching me selfless love and care, and so I must do a little for her. So that day, we decided to give a sari and some biscuits. So I asked my principal sir to please gift the same to the lady. Now this lady was not, I did not meet her for a very long time. So when we invited her, we told her and we gifted her, she felt so warm. Tears came in her eyes and she almost started crying. And she took the gift and she moved out of the office. I noticed something very unusual. I had always seen her smiling, full of energy, light, and today she was crying. I went to her and just said, "What happened? Why are you so sad today? Why are you crying?" And she felt so much that she literally hugged me, took my shoulder, and started crying more. I said, "What happened?" She was a very poor lady, and she said, "I lost my son." That day, I realized this lady has contributed so much in my life, and there's no one to look up to her, no one to look after her. She was all alone. And I realized that she felt all the love and warmth whenever we met. That day, I realized that in a woman is the manifestation of power that is selfless love. She never really had anything to give me in physical, but this love and the learning that she's given me, I hold on even until today. That day, I realized the power of one. This one lady, but the knowledge, the message that she's given me, that just, make smiles, contribute to the smiles around you, holds on to me even today. While I have been in my routine, I have been observant about what is the surrounding around. And when I used to go for my walks, one day I saw a lady driving a school bus, and I wondered, really, can someone really do that? And to my surprise, when I went to take my license for a vehicle, I saw a lady learning to drive a bus. Now that was something even astonishing. Very recently, I happened to witness a situation where we were traveling together and one of the lady was driving a car, and it so happened that somehow the car went into a bump and the tire flattened. Now this was a very panicky situation because we were in the middle of a road. But when I looked up to the lady who was driving, she confidently came out, looked at the situation, said, "Oh, that was my fault. I should have taken the vehicle just this way. No problem. We'll immediately call a person." She called for nearby help, immediately took out, just opened the car, removed another tire, and made all the arrangements. I looked at her in awe. What kind of energy did she have? That was the manifestation of another power for me that meant take responsibility. That lady that day gave me the courage to keep going forward in life and also to take responsibility. I have strongly believed in the power of one and the power of women. While I completed my chartered accountancy course, I had various options to go into job practice, but I always strongly felt connected with the students. And while I was in my chartered accountancy course, since I did everything by myself, I studied subjects by myself, I used to feel some kind of, I always felt that I needed motivation again and again. I needed some kind of positive energy around me to keep going. And since I did everything by myself, I could contribute a lot of time to my hobbies and passion. It was then that I developed these skills of talking, communicating. And I realized that there are so many people around us who need same kind of motivation, or probably they need this same kind of direction. And so I thought of why not just helping everyone, being a connector to them and unleash the potential that they hold. With this very simple thought, I took the first step and started my own institute, A Vision World. Here, we decided that we will bring mental health and we'll bring excellence. So we decided certain schedules, we decided certain sessions wherein we discussed a lot of brainstorming things. We did a lot of activities which really challenged us and brought the best out of us. Way back when I was in standard 11th, I was in my college BMCC, and there was this one lady professor who really inspired me. And she was Rupali Deshpande ma'am. Unlike all the teachers, she taught excellent, but what she really taught me more was always focus on developing your overall personality. It was she who encouraged me to go and just participate in the contest that came up as Mr. and Miss BMCC. Initially, there was always a trend that people from masters used to go and bag that award. But she only inspired me to just go and participate. And this small inspiration from her meant so much to me. While I entered the contest, I realized you require n number of skills to be fit in the society. You need n number of skills and you need to develop them by yourself. That was my learning from her, that I realized it is important to develop skills. As a woman, you must develop various skills. Skill development is a must. And when I went with her, I participated, I went through all the sessions. It was then that I was the one who was declared to be Miss BMCC after winning all the contests. That there was a learning that it is always necessary to take the first step. Sometimes our dreams are so big that it almost seems impossible to do it. However, over the years, I have learned it is always a step that is required. The power of one is infinite. One seed can start a forest. One action, for example, one day you decide that you are going to do something good and take one action in that direction, and things are going to start changing. One touch can just mean so much. I had a neighbor, a lady about 80 years. She had cancer, but there was one thing that we exchanged, and that was a very sweet smile. I used to often visit her and just share some good things with her so that she feels good. And whenever I sat with her, I felt kind of energy that she liberated was amazing. That time I felt that irrespective of what state you are, you can always make a choice. That was the power I derived from her, the power of making choice. Even in the state of illness, she always chose to be happy. I realized our journey is very short. It starts from B and ends at D. B is birth, D is death. We have control over none, but we have this C, and this C means make a choice. You have this ability to make a choice. I would really appeal to all the women. If you have any sorts of idea, if you have anything that you wish to do in your life, make a choice to do it. It might literally seem impossible. Now that I've completed a year of a vision world, I look back to the day when I just sat thinking, can this happen? I also had thoughts, why would students come to me? Would they ever know me? Will my services be good and appropriate for them? But today I feel that one step has made a tremendous difference. I strongly believe that there is something we can always learn from one another. Even in my class, I can narrate to you a student who was appearing for the CA exams multiple times. It so happened that one day she attempted a paper and she could not just write it properly. She felt very agitated. She came and she said, what is this? I've never studied this. And then we explained her some different methods of studying. She took period of 5 days, went back home, studied strong, studied smart, came back, wrote the paper, gave her exams and cleared. And this time, when she was appearing for her another group, she gives me a call saying, can I appear for 2 papers, but I have no money to pay you. Because I have no job, my job has been lost and my family is not earning much. I simply said, I have seen the burning desire in you. I see tremendous power in you. I learn from you the power of never give up. I learn from you, follow your dreams. And to add this, she wrote the test papers and also arranged the money. It was her power that said, no, if I am writing the test, I will do it. Although I said that it is okay, but somewhere she had this power, she arranged, she communicated, and she came back saying, I'm going to write another test, another test. And this shows me that if you have the courage, the confidence, and the strong desire to do something, no one can stop you. Like I learned from my profession, right now I have a student who is 57 years in age, and she is appearing for her CA final exams. When I look up to her, I derive motivation saying what power she must be having to face all the exams, to study, to give that kind of attempt. It takes a lot of courage. But from her, I have learned that power can be manifested in different forms. And right now, she is before me in the form of power, of never give up, of follow your dreams, follow your passion, and do what you want. I have seen people around me, women around me, who have innovative thoughts and ideas. Now, giving you a very small example of how I am inspired daily by the women around me, there's one small example of a maid who comes home and her daughter, maid's daughter, that is Payal. When she comes home, she's so neatly dressed. Each day she has different kinds of dressing, she has different kinds of hairstyles that she makes, and she's always so creative about her appearance. That makes me think the power in her of creativity. Woman has the power of creativity. In fact, each one of us has this power of creativity. When I look up to her, I realize she celebrates this power of celebration. She celebrates the moment without complaining her state, and she lives this moment with so much love. I recently witnessed a woman who traveled to America, and what was amazing was while she traveled to America with her baggage, she also carried another baggage which had items like bangles, Indian idols, uh, books, and spices. So basically, she collected all of those as what is India's speciality. And she had a thought that whenever she goes to America, if by chance she happens to meet someone where she must, just portray the rich culture of India, she is going to do that. We have so many people with such diverse ideas. I strongly believe that if we in this journey of reviving India for a resurgent revival of the woman Nari Shakti for a resurgent India, we need to start taking steps. It might seem impossible, but it is always good to make a step. This one step will make all the difference. I strongly believe that only we can bring this change with respecting women. We must on our own start respecting women and also appreciate the small efforts others do. I believe that there is some power in every single person, and that simple recognition of that power is going to give a tremendous energy to that person, and that can be the start of a new era. I believe that big things happen with small steps. Today, whatever energy you have, whatever ideas you have, I appeal to you to come out with those ideas. That idea might just seem so small right now, but I assure you, the idea that you have, people are looking out for that idea since a long time. You can be a symbol of energy and light. We've always been looking around for what is there for us. But today I feel it is time for us to go deep within us and realize we have bountiful potential. We have this purpose and power within us. It is only time that we now introspect and make ourselves strong. With starting a vision world, I have really had power and I have realized how life works, how I can just collaborate with people around me, with women around me, and just inculcate all these ideas. I have had tremendous experiences where these women have contributed so powerfully in my life. I very strongly believe that if you desire to become something, then the universal forces are bound to help you. It is only the time for you to believe in yourself, the very first step. People may or may not believe in you, but you must definitely believe in yourself. For the closing remarks, I would just like to say that we all live a life, but it is great if we can live an extraordinary life of purpose. And for this, we have to take steps on our own front. We have to start making changes in our area. We first need to make changes in our own daily lives, and then this positiveness, this vibes will spread around. काम करे ऐसा कि पहचान बन जाए, काम करे ऐसा कि पहचान बन जाए, हर कदम चले ऐसा कि निशान बन जाए. जिंदगी तो हर कोई काट लेता है यहाँ, जिंदगी तो हर कोई काट लेता है यहाँ, हम जिंदगी जिए ऐसे कि मिसाल बन जाए. I wish you all the best and thank you very much, Swami ji. Thank you.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Over to Supriya, please.
It's an inspiration and pleasure listening to you. I wish to express my gratitude for providing encouragement to begin and never give up. One thing that really struck me is to believe in self. On behalf of VIHE team and my own behalf, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to you for sharing with us your beliefs, findings, and opinions. We are inspired by your great words. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll move on to the next part of our webinar is to listen to our senior volunteer Amma, Mrs. Lakshmi, to sing a song on Swamiji's personality. Lakshmi Amma, please come online. Yes.
My humble pranams to Holy Trinity and Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj. Shakti, the divinity manifests where there is purity. And my humble namaskars to such pure souls, Swati ji, Vidya ji, Aishwarya ji, Sumita ji, and all. I feel this webinar is a worship of Shakti, and I'm sure our Shiva, our beloved Swami Vivekananda, is watching with immense joy and blessing us all. So I'm going to offer a flower at his feet in the form of a bhajan. जय वीरेश्वर विवेक भास्कर, जय जय श्री विवेकानंद. जय वीरेश्वर विवेक भास्कर, जय जय श्री विवेकानंद. इंदु निभानन सुंदर लोचन, विश्वमानव चिरवन्द्य. इंदु निभानन सुंदर लोचन, विश्वमानव चिरवन्द्य. जय वीरेश्वर विवेक भास्कर, जय जय श्री विवेकानंद. प्रेम ढल ढल कांति सुविमला, अधिगत वेद वेदांता. प्रेम ढल ढल कांति सुविमला, अधिगत वेद वेदांता. त्याग तितिक्षा तपस्य उज्ज्वल, त्याग तितिक्षा तपस्य उज्ज्वल. चित्त निर्मल शांत, त्याग तितिक्षा तपस्य उज्ज्वल. चित्त निर्मल शांत. जय वीरेश्वर विवेक भास्कर, जय जय श्री विवेकानंद. कर्म भक्ति ज्ञान त्रिशूल धारण छेदन जीव मोह बंध कर्म भक्ति ज्ञान त्रिशूल धारण छेदन जीव मोह बंध ब्रह्म परायण नमो नारायण ब्रह्म परायण नमो नारायण देहि देहि चरणारविंद ब्रह्म परायण नमो नारायण देहि देहि चरणारविंद जय वीरेश्वर विवेक भास्कर जय जय श्री विवेकानंद इंदु निभानन सुंदर लोचन विश्व मानव चिरवंद्य जय वीरेश्वर विवेक भास्कर जय जय श्री विवेकानंद. Thank you for listening, and my pranams to Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj for making me a part of this wonderful webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you. May Swamiji bless all of us. Wonderful presentation, wonderful song. May I now request a couple of people, in case you have any questions, can raise your hand and we shall call you. It will be unmuted. And first is Rachit. Rachit is not there, only suddenly disappeared. We'll take some opinions. Sumita Roy, to summarize the proceedings, please. Sumita Roy.
Yes, Maharaj.
Your summary.
I'm absolutely awed by the presentations we heard today, because it was almost as though the three excellent speakers were complementing each other. When Swati Ramji spoke, she spoke about her own experiences and she gave a wide-ranging examples. I think these are wonderfully inspiring and they can be the root of resurgence. The theoretical background was beautifully stressed by the next speaker, I think Vidya Raghuji. And she gave us so many ideas which, when these are concretized, I think will bring real resurgence, which is what Bodhamayanandaji is trying to do. So if we want resurgence, we need these ideas. We need the basis of these ideas. That was wonderful presentation too. And this young presenter, she was amazing. In fact, her very presence and her modulation and the excellence, the fire with which she spoke really is Nari Shakti's resurgence. If we can duplicate this in every young child, I think we have ensured Nari Shakti. She gave excellent examples and she also showed the processes of transformation. I think all three put together have given a wonderful, complete picture, Maharaj. I think this complete picture is what will bring real resurgence, and Nari Shakti will certainly be in the forefront of this reawakening. I'm sure this video, which goes on to YouTube later, should be seen by millions and millions of people, because it'll be a great inspiration. As soon as I get the link, I'm going to share it with everybody, because such excellent speeches need to be shared more and more. Thank you, Maharaj. And
thank
namaste.
you very much. It has been pleasant and it has been very inspiring, thoughtful, nice nutrition at the present times. We have Saroj Bala Thakurji, a senior NCC officer from Hyderabad, connected with us through her students, just to come online and share. Amma, Saroj Bala Thakurji, bataiye thoda, kaisa laga? Yes, you can unmute and speak. Saroj Thakurji, co-host. You can unmute and speak. Yeah.
Swamiji, Pranam.
Pranam.
It was really a very good day for me to see the real Nari Shakti, which is resurgent in Swami Vivekananda's Institute, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. It's really nice to see so many women who are trying to empower most of the girls presently in today's environment, which is very, very necessary. And it's really great that all the three speakers and even Madam Sumita Roy, who was my teacher also when I was associated with the Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. That is from 2003, I'm associated with this institute. And it was really a great experience to listen to all of them, which will definitely imbibe in the young generation, coming generation, the parents especially, who has to create a niche among the children at their homes to have a very clear picture about the cultural tradition of India, wherein the woman was the first person who had started plowing the land. That immediate necessity of the requirement and the competence of a woman of Indian society is a very, very important thing which they need to realize. That is really awesome, sir. And I thank each and everybody. And I also thank you, Swamiji, for making me the part of this webinar. It is really great.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Doing
Jai
tremendous
Hind.
work, inspiring younger generation to become
Sir.
fit for the country's service.
True,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Can we take our Ramesh Garu from Pratipadu, Vishakhapatnam to just share his views? Let us see how Ramesh Garu will react. Ramesh ji. Yes, Ramesh Garu can speak.
Please unmute yourself, Ramesh ji, then you can.
Pranams Maharaj, pranams.
Namaste, namaste.
Still I am in a hangover of that today's speakers Maharaj. All these three really.
It has been fantastic.
They are really Maharaj, spellbound to that presentations. So really that Aishwarya, I think that she will be an Aishwarya to the entire womanhood of the future India. And I want her to be a guiding force for all the girls at that age. And if she can mold the youth, and definitely what Swamiji dreamt about that future India and woman motherhood of that India. So all those dreams will come into force. And so may God bless you, Aishwarya, and the other two speakers also. Really, I feel this one of the best webinar what we have conducted so far, and all these three, they stole our hearts, Maharaj. Really, we say thanks to you and to the Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. Really, we are fortunate to participate in this webinar.
Yeah, thank you, Ramesh ji. Dr. Sharada, you are still online. You can speak a minute about the activities there and how you are managing things. Dr. Sharada from Bengaluru. Sharada, are you there? Sharada can unmute and speak. Before we conclude, any other guest speaker, participants to comment and share your views? Your feedback, please. Anybody is welcome. You can raise your hand and we'll unmute you. Yeah, Rachit. Rachit, I. Anil, please check.
Sir, this Zoom meeting is.
Who are you, first of all?
Rachit.
Rachit, what is your age and what are you doing?
Sir, my age is 9 years and I am studying in 3rd class.
Fantastic.
Fourth class.
Fourth class. Come on, tell what you want to say.
Sir, this Zoom meeting is very inspiring, sir. I have learned so many things from this, sir.
Okay, very good. Keep it up, learn more and become a great a citizen of India. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Rama Subramaniam, please. Dr. Rama Subramaniam, please come online. Anil, just unmute her. Anil Rama Subramaniam.
Namaste, Swamiji. Namaste to everyone. This has been a very inspiring for sure. But I think most of us are all the time, we do have these wanting to do things, wanting to empower and feeling empowered. But there is an ebb and tide. It comes up and goes down, and you don't feel constantly inspired. I think a Zoom meeting like this keeps us, brings that level of wanting to connect, wanting to do, wanting to contribute, all this alive, and also tells us what opportunities are available to be able to contribute, in what ways, giving us ideas of how we can contribute. And I am thankful for being invited to listen to such inspiring talks. All the talks were eye-openers. All of us feel helpless. We feel, okay, what can I do as an individual? But when you listen to speakers, what they have done, individuals have done, then it at least makes you feel, yes, it's not like I'm not abala. I can definitely contribute with whatever I have to a better country and to a better society. And it makes us, we are aware of our strengths, but we really don't know how to go about contributing. So hearing from these speakers, now it gives an idea in what all areas I can associate myself and how I can contribute. Thank you so much for this invite and for this
very valuable feedback. Yeah, concretized and give a new direction to the energy that is available, to the resources that are available, facilities that are available today. The Swamiji's ideas and pure ideas should go into the society, to the market. Aishwarya, you've got a wonderful platform. Aishwarya has been a wonderful teacher for chartered accountant students. I had been to her institute in Pune, and many have come out in wonderful colors. Those who are in tension, those who lost confidence, she revives them. She gives the message of Swamiji to them. Aishwarya, shake up Maharashtra, shake up Pune, and bring about.
And I think you've been contributed a lot. So I really, we had Swamiji's session at the institute and students attended that. And recently when we celebrated 1 complete year of A Vision World, students mentioned that life-changing session that they witnessed of Swamiji. So immensely grateful, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you very much. Last 1 minute comment from Swati Ram to conclude, please. Swati Ram's 1 minute, what you can say, what the youth can do.
Yeah, I think like somebody said, Aishwarya is a great embodiment of what Swamiji said when he said, youth are not useless, but they can they're just used less. I think that's the message today, all youth here. And Aishwarya, I was very happy to know that Swamiji always said we should succeed in whatever you do. You not only succeeded in being a chartered accountant, but you've taken this message of be and make. That is what we keep saying, If it's not enough, if we are something, if we could even make 10 people like us, that would be the greatest homage we could pay to Swamiji. So I think that's a true embodiment of be and make. And I think that's the one message that youth have to take today. I always keep saying I want to extrapolate, and it's not be the change anymore, but it is leading the change. So I say lead the change. So all of you take that message and make many more people like you, bring friends to listen to such webinars. And I'm sure that India, that glorious nation that Swamiji dreamt of, is not at all far away. That I'm very sure, and I hope all of you also are. Thank you again, Swamiji, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Swati. Dr. Sharada, your words. How did you feel and reaction? You can unmute and speak.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Yeah.
It was a really nice experience. All speakers, they spoke really well, all of them. It's really inspiring. So I'm grateful that I've been given a chance to be singing here. So probably I would love to get involved more in such works.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch with you and get in touch with our volunteer team also. We can have a good music sessions and satsangs like VIHE are doing there. your father doing well.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you
Definitely.
very much. Yeah. Valledu. Can we have a 1 minute concluding remarks from Vidya Raghuji, please? Yeah,
Thank
Vidya.
you very much, Maharaj, for this great opportunity. I mean, it was such a engaging session, and actually, it is very important for me because I know I've just been working and doing, but I never had the time to reflect and kind of lay out. And so this gave me an opportunity to do that, and I'm definitely going to work on this further for me to be able to understand the mechanics and the operationalization of this kind of Nari Shakti. It was wonderful to hear Sumati Roy ji. I mean, the way she succinctly put together everything, that there was nothing left to say in that matter. She had kind of encapsulated all of that, so that was fantastic. And our Swati Ramji was also, very engaging, a great speaker, and I was just so relaxed and I was enjoying all those anecdotes. So it was really interesting to, listen to you. And definitely, I'm sure all the young kids and young volunteers here are going to be highly inspired by and motivated by your talk. And of course, little Aishwarya is, I have a son of her age, and so I can understand that, to have such service orientation at such a young age, and, look at a purposeful life and, design your life in that purposeful direction is a great step ahead. I'm so lucky to have heard all of you, and I'm so happy to have been able to share my thoughts with all of you. Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Get connected with all the three and then make the human excellence a nucleus, then let the fragrance spread all over the country and the world, especially the younger generation.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Aishwarya's final remarks, please. Aishwarya from Pune. Aishwarya, final observations.
Yes, sir. So I would actually like to communicate that each one of us has been holding some limiting beliefs that only exist in our mind. We've been telling ourselves some negative stories that we cannot shoulder big responsibilities or a particular task is not meant for me. But I think we need to, change our language to affirmations and start believing in ourselves and start telling ourselves that yes, I can do it slowly and steadily. I am going to make it. And the universal powers, the forces, people like Swamiji and all the positive vibes around is definitely going to make all the difference, and it is going to bring a lot of energy and power to everyone. So with this, I extend my sincere thanks once again. Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Ramaji, you want to say something?
Yes, Swamiji. I am based in Hyderabad. My humble request, I'm available. Anyone who wants can utilize my services in any which way. I will be grateful to be able to contribute.
Yeah, surely. Our volunteers will get in touch with you, and you can join our team on weekends and Saturdays, Sundays, and other days when we are having some classes online.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We shall conclude with a bhajan by our volunteer for team. Over to Sri Charitha, please.
My humble salutations to the Holy Trio. My namaskars to Swamiji again and all the audience present here. So let us mark the closing of this webinar with the chanting of Bhavani Ashtakam, which is composed by Adi Shankaracharya. And it has a beautiful meaning which says, "You are my refuge, you alone are my refuge, O Mother Bhavani." So after listening to the webinar, when we try to reflect, we are in various positions. Each one of us are having different challenges, different abilities. We are all strong, but we all have different strengths and different abilities. So let us all take refuge at the feet of Goddess Bhavani and take the message forward, imbibe it, and as the speaker said, be and make, lead and make. न जानामि दानं न च ध्यानयोगं न जानामि दानं न च ध्यानयोगं न जानामि तन्त्रं न च स्तोत्रमन्त्रं न जानामि तन्त्रं न च स्तोत्रमन्त्रं न जानामि पूजं न च न्यासयोगं न जानामि पूजं न च न्यासयोगं गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि पुण्यं न जानामि तीर्थ न जानामि पुण्यं न जानामि तीर्थ न जानामि मुक्तिं लयं वा कदाचित् न जानामि मुक्तिं लयं वा कदाचित् न जानामि भक्तिं व्रतं वापि मातर् न जानामि भक्तिं व्रतं वापि मातर् गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि प्रजेशं रमेशं महेशं सुरेशं प्रजेशं रमेशं महेशं सुरेशं दिनेशं निशीतेश्वरं वा कदाचित् दिनेशं निशीतेश्वरं वा कदाचित् न जानाति चान्यत् सदाहं शरण्ये न जानाति चान्यत् सदाहं शरण्ये गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि विवादे विषादे प्रमादे प्रवासे विवादे विषादे प्रमादे प्रवासे जले चानले पर्वते शत्रुमध्ये जले चानले पर्वते शत्रुमध्ये अरण्ये शरण्ये सदा मां प्रपाहि अरण्ये शरण्ये सदा मां प्रपाहि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतेस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि त्वमेका भवानि त्वमेका भवानि.
Yes, offering our salutations to the Divine Mother Durga, to Mother Saraswati, and to Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sharada. We conclude this wonderful webinar, thanking all the three speakers, plus our devotee, our faculties, Dr. Sumita Roy, and all other participants. Those who are attending this kind of seminar in Ramakrishna Math Human Excellence Institute for the first time, who are still online, can register yourself for future notifications. The emails will be sent to you, invitations will be sent to you, and you can connect from wherever you are and be a participant in this national movement. What Swamiji wanted is excellent human beings who are manifesting the divinity in every moment of life. Whether it be a boy or a girl, east or west, whether it's a professional or whether it is a student, everybody needs to work on this. It's a long journey, but a sure journey. With the blessings of Swamiji, with the blessings of Mother Durga, we shall take this message forward. Week after week, we are meeting to become strong and make our life purposeful. So till we meet next Sunday, may we invoke the presence of the Mother in our hearts and seek her blessings, her protection, her grace, and make our life beneficial for the society. So thank you once again. Namaste to all of you. Shubhadinam, Shubhavaram.